Tuesday, October 12th at 7 o'clock, and I would like to call the City of Twinsburg Caucus meeting to order. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Here.
Mr. Fury?
Here.
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Bellin?
Here.
Mrs. Stoffer? Mrs. Labby? Here. Mrs. Walker?
Present.
Okay, any presentations? I don't believe we have any tonight, all right? Items for discussion. How about audience participation?
Yes, we have Bob Hughes.
Hey, good evening, Council, Mayor. I'm Bob Thurs, 2229 Demi Drive in the Betterwood plan. And really have a question of the group tonight, whoever can answer it for it. If I want to lease the golf course pavilion for a wedding or something, whom do I talk to?
There's a nice lady that sits in the office at the front of the building. If you walked in and look to your left, it's very small. It's where Abby used to be at. And they handle all the reservations for the banquet facility. And the pavilion is part of their deal. In fact, they held a wedding there the other day. No? Pavilion's not their deal?
The pavilion's not part of the lease. The pavilion is part of their deal from the standpoint that if you're going to rent it for a wedding that you're having the banquet in the facility, they will handle that. If it's just a standalone event that does not involve the facility or does not involve food, it's not part of the lease agreement itself, that space.
And that brings up the issue I have, and that is when we went to use the pavilion as a golf group, our golf group has 2 eating events a year. We went to use it, and we were told we had to go to the A&M or Burntwood group. And the Burntwood group said we have exclusive rights on all food on this facility. Okay, and as a result of that, our group now has moved their eating events off the campus, and in turn moved the golf, at least for those 2 events a year, which amounts to about $2,500 for the city. So if it's not controlled by the Burntwood group, which is what we were told, okay, from that standpoint, and it's controlled by the city, then we should be able to bring our own food.
So I can discuss that. So when we decided to get out of the restaurant and banquet business, which was something that I was enthusiastic about at the time, we got into a business we shouldn't have got in. I think all of council agreed. We contracted with Burntwood. We found a really good operator that was able to take over all food and beverage operations at the clubhouse. Part of that was that the city would stay out of that and let them control all food and beverage operations. And part of that understanding was also that, they would have exclusive rights to provide that at the golf course. And so we have stayed out of doing that. And we've also stayed out of basically trying to, go outside of Burntwood or the CAP group, A&M, to allow outside food to be brought in. I mean, you're not the first one that's requested that. We've turned down other parties and grad parties and those because we're not in the business anymore of providing food and beverage operations to the city. Brian, for us to rent out a pavilion for $100, he doesn't have the staff, and we don't have the tables and chairs and any of that because all of that was part of the contract with the operator of the food and beverage operations now. That's part of their supplies and everything they bought into when they signed their lease. So we don't have a desire to get into and get in between really private groups trying to rent out and bring in their own food outside of Burntwood.
We did this when A&M was there. We were grandfathered in when we were there at A&M, Then we had our own, we brought in food. We used the pavilion and brought in food, okay, from that standpoint. And as a result of that, when they changed the Burntwood group, now we have to go through Burntwood. Burntwood was an outrageous disaster for us. We're seniors. We're not going to pay $25 to $50 a meal for for a dinner. We just can't afford that. So as a result of that, the group has moved now for meals up to Grantwood. Okay, Grantwood leases us a pavilion. Okay, we go up there and we eat. So now you lose basically $2,500 a year.
25 in what way?
Well, in golf fees, we don't play golf there.
You're assuming we don't.
Those days are gone. Two times a year we go up there.
But you're assuming we don't backfill those tee times, right?
Well, hey, you go ahead. We've been
No,
there.
I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just saying that it is really hard to get a tee time at Glen Eagles this year, and we have not done. If you've looked at some of our new policies, we don't do outings on Friday, Saturday anymore because there's a tremendously more profitable day for the golf to not do an outing and not block off all those tee times and lock up the whole course. We'd rather run straight tee times all day long because now that we're out of the food and beverage operations, it's much more profitable for us to run just straight tee times. So, I mean, I understand, and I mean, certain groups were grandfathered in with certain outings that for the first year could bring in their own food and continue what they did because we'd already booked them, and then we phased all that out. And now we do outings. We have basically two outings that we allow on Fridays, and one is the Chamber and one is the Mectarian. The rest of them are all done. If they're there, they're done Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. No Saturday outings.
Well, that's fine. I understand that. We're not.
I mean,
playing
my
on-
directive from the residents was to make as much money as possible on the golf
So
course.
you're going to blow away the $2,400 or $2,500.
I-
You don't know that.
I don't
still.
mean to be
This is a
argumentative,
guaranteed
but I
$2,500.
guarantee you, we make more money booking tee times than blocking off a whole day of an outing for senior rates. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So, but again, I think that, and I'm not, again,
Well,
we appreciate the senior league. We've accommodated the senior league for a long time. And when you're talking about one particular outing day, I understand, but it's, we have a good relationship with Burntwood. They handle all the food and beverage operations.
That's so good. We had 40 people there, and they gave us 4 flatbreads that totaled 32 pieces. That's how good they are. Okay, they aren't. I mean, they may be great at individual appetizers, and they make great at meals. Okay, but they don't really do good at all in catering to the people. Okay, from the standpoint like us. Okay, from that standpoint. So what I'm saying is, you may think they're great, and things may be great, but it's not for us. We're basically saying this isn't right. Now, here's my concern. We went up there we did the mid-season here and did the experience with them. Okay, went through the whole experience with them. Very disappointed, and our group says let's move the next event. So we did. We moved it to Grantwood. Okay, Grantwood treated us like gold. Okay, now my concern is, I'm being selfish because I live directly across from the course. I don't want to drive up to Grantwood. But Grantwood gushed all over us and said, you guys are really gentlemen, you know how to keep the rules, you know how to play the game, and we would love to have you back. And they're booking next year, the next 2 events. So what's going to happen, what I'm more concerned about is that long term, we're going to move. Okay, now, the people in our league, some of them are from Twinsburg, some are from Solon, some are from Macedonia. They're spread out, okay, all over. So from moving from Twinsburg up to Solon is going to make a difference. So what I'm just saying from our standpoint, I'm looking at it long-term saying, hey, what do you want? You want to take that chance? I don't want to. I like playing Glen Eagles. But the thing of it is you're risking that. Second of all, okay, from that standpoint, I love the idea that you have all these tee times booked. But I'll tell you what, I used my
1 minute.
I used my pass, okay, for rain pass more than I ever did before, because we were rained out so many times this year that so if you're counting those as bookings when we're only paying once every 3 weeks, I guess I'm a little, if you count bookings,
Well,
you
you
don't
shouldn't-
count money, okay, then.
Not once every
that's
3 weeks. If you have one rain pass, you can use it once, so.
Okay, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is we were rained out 2 times. We got rained out 2 times in a row.
But you paid money every time you got a rain check.
Money, I got half of it back. I paid money, got half of it back again because we got rained out 2 times.
What do you mean you got half of it back?
I got 9 holes in and it got rained out. So I got nine holes refunded, okay? I've used that 9 holes, okay, paid for 18, used that 9 holes, got 9 holes refunded again because there was so much rain. So if you're counting bookings and not money.
I'm just counting revenue.
I'm just saying
dollars.
it's not
I'm just counting, we're
apples to
over
apples.
1.1 million this year. I'm counting dollars.
Okay, well,
All
that's fine.
So, good year. It was a good year, Bob.
All I'm saying is that I see this as a great opportunity for the city to put some money in their coffers, okay, from that standpoint,
Time.
even if it's a little
Time.
bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Anyone else, Shannon?
That is all.
That's it? Okay. We'll move on to pending legislation. We've got ordinance 65, 2021. Again, this is the ordinance to clarify section 111.05 regarding council representatives and the council president's seat. This will be, it's on third reading tonight, so we will vote on this tonight. Anybody have any other discussion on this? Okay. Next, we have Resolution 77, 2021. This is a resolution that's allowing the mayor to apply for AMET's STBG funding for Highland Road resurfacing. This is also for funding for 2023 and 2024 and is not guaranteed funding. If awarded, the project would have an 80-20 split. Total cost would be about $580,000, 464 being the federal share and 116,000 being the city share. And this is on Haddon Road from on Highland Road from Haddon to 91. That's that section. Any questions?
Do we know when that grant would be awarded? Do we know what the time? I know Amy's not here, but
Yeah, this was, this goes out to 2024,
2020.
25.
okay,
Yeah,
I mean,
24.
okay. So it's a
2023,
ways out. Okay,
2024.
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else on that one? Okay. Resolution 78, 2021. This is a resolution, again, allowing the mayor to apply for AMET's STBG funding for Glenwood Drive resurfacing from Ravenna Road to State Route 91 roundabout. This is approximately 9,500 feet. And this is funding for, out there in 2025 and 2026. Because I'm looking at Glenwood now and saying, well, wow, it doesn't really need it, but you're talking 5-6 years down the road. So, but it's not guaranteed funding either. If awarded, the project would have an 80-20 split as well. The city's portion being $445,000, and the federal being $700,000. Total cost of the project is $1.14 million. Any questions? Discussion. All right. Ordinance 79, 2021. This ordinance is to memorialize the Title VI written policy required for federal funding passed through ODOT. The city through ODOT local LET program administers federally funded projects for both design and construction. The engineering and law departments completed the written policy dated back to February of 2019. I believe it was 2018-19 as well. And by passing it, will be a part of the city's permanent record. Everybody got that? Any questions on that? Okay. Resolution 80, 2021, this resolution is done annually, and it will authorize the advancement of local taxes from Sonoma County. The advance is for 2021 tax year, payable in 2022. Anything further, Sarah? Anything more you want to say?
We pass this every year
Right.
to participate in the program.
Okay. Next, we have Resolution 81, 2021. This resolution is to enter into an agreement with Redshift Technologies to provide security control systems. If we all remember a few meetings back, I don't know, maybe it was last month, the IT was here and presented, had a presentation for us. And with the reference to this agreement, it's to purchase the alarms, the access control, video, intercom system, equipment, as well as inspection and monitoring services for the system. The contract would take the place of the current agreement, which is for that we're currently leasing equipment. Total cost is $324,077.28, and this is at or below state bid. That's why we're able to do this, because it's state bid at or below, which will be payable in 3 annual installments of $108,025.76.
Sir, isn't the ROI on this, wasn't it like in year 4 we're money ahead based on the presentation from finance? I mean,
Right,
it's,
over the course of 5 years, we should save over $100,000
All right.
switching from lease to purchasing the equipment, and hopefully the savings go on after that. It'll just depend on how much we have to replace the equipment.
And there was a significant increase in areas of service, so we were adding to add certain buildings and areas to it, as well as an upgrade in the technology.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember it being a win money-wise, so.
Good. All right, next we have Ordinance 82, 2021. This ordinance will replace the award for Ely Construction for the Village Storage Building. Ely couldn't acquire the necessary material, and they notified the city that they were unable to complete the contract as bid. The second lowest bidder was Building Technologies Corp., which will complete the project. This is the same company that we've used at the community center for this community center roof. Total amount of this project is $189,500. I think if my math is right, the difference between Ely and what we're doing now, we're spending probably another $60,000 more. Correct?
For the combined. For this
Looking at the bid
particular
tabs,
roof,
yeah,
right?
for the combined.
Right,
Right.
and I would just add, we did alternate bid this project, the 2 roofs when we went out, and this company was the lowest bidder on their alternate bid for both roofs at the same time.
Okay.
I just want to bring to council's attention, because we are going back to them some 5 months later, they've expressed to us of just going into this, they believe they have the majority of the materials on site to do this job, but if they can't, they might have to adjust their material costs on their original bid, and I said, we'll revisit that. We have provisions in there for cost overruns, and we recognize that, but we're happy they can step up at this time, so.
So we still want to get this done before the weather changes.
We want to get them under contract so we can get them in. I'm not sure where they're at with the other roof. Are they?
They on the community center roof, they dropped off materials starting today. So they're getting started.
Okay.
And they originally thought this other roof wastewater might go into next year, but they're gonna try to get it done this year.
So that's our goal. They're starting on the community center first, and then.
And then they'll
hopefully
move
we
on
get
to that one. Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Council, questions, discussion? All right, finally, we have Resolution 83, 2021. This resolution is to authorize an amendment to the CRA agreement that was approved in Resolution 32, 2021 by Council with PFG and the 8745 Chamberlain Road LLC. The changes are as follows. And I don't know if I have all these numbers right either, Dave,
I'm
because
following you.
that blue on there with all the crossouts and everything. Original investment was $26 million. The new amount is $14 million. Original building improvements was $8.26 million. The new amount, $7.8 million. And the original payroll of $5.8 million. The new payroll is $3.75 million. But the length still remains the same at a 3-year agreement. Are those
Numbers were
all good?
right, yes.
Yeah, Shannon looked at them and I looked at them, and it was a little difficult to decipher. Any questions on that, Council?
Where exactly is this? Is this?
PFG.
I thought it said it was at the
The old
Cornerstone.
Cornerstone, it's the old Chrysler property.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 8745 Chandler.
Okay. Good. All right. Miscellaneous. Does anybody have any miscellaneous under the caucus? Okay. Tonight I'll be making two motions regarding liquor permits, and I'll read those to you in the council meeting.
Okay.
One I remember off the top of my head is the Old Damon's, which is going to be Burgers to Beer. So that's one of them. I don't recall the other one.
Super 8.
Super 8. Yeah, the hotel. That's right.
Super 8 wants a liquor permit.
Right. Then we're going to adjust that.
Do they have one?
We're going to adjust that. Sorry, David. Couldn't hear. So I'll make those motions, and we can discuss it.
I just want to say the Super 8 one, I think council's position, the city's position is we're going to fight that, oppose the issuance of that, but we're just not at a comfort level with what we're hearing that they're proposing to do there, that we could sign off and okay that.
Is there a lounge or a bar there?
Well, that's the question. What they've applied for is a liquor permit connected to a restaurant, which obviously they don't have. They have a lounge with some tables and a microwave. So that's part of the reason why we're opposing it. But with the absence, with the construction going on next door to them, I think they're looking at this as an opportunity to have if they get the liquor permit. So we've been in contact with the State Liquor Control Agency that did an investigation up there, and while they might meet the black letter definition that regarding a restaurant, that being tables, chairs, and a food, and a microwave, I don't know that we're real comfortable with it. So we are going to oppose it. It doesn't mean we're going to prevail, but.
So Sam is making a motion that we're going, and you're asking us to deny it, or you don't want any motion at all, and you're gonna handle this by phone or email or?
Well, it's what we get from the state is that for the clerk, for Shannon to send down approval that council approved or does not object to the issuance of the granting of the permit. And generally, we look at that. If there's no compelling reason, we go ahead and send those down that we don't object or ask for a hearing. This is one that we are asking for a hearing on. So there's two check boxes, I think. One, we don't ask for a hearing. One, we're asking for a hearing. This one, we're asking council to say we'd like a hearing. So
Yeah, I'll be voting no.
I didn't understand that.
Right.
You would want to vote yes, because the motion is to request the hearing.
we're requesting a hearing.
And then let's do that.
It'll be more clear, but that's it.
Clear as mud.
We're essentially opposing the Super 8 one.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have anything else under caucus? All right, caucus is adjourned. We will resume with the council meeting at 7:30 in about 5 minutes. Anybody wishing to speak before council, please come up to the podium and sign in.